Hey everybody, I wanted to personally apologize on a number of things. And that, first of all, is I got way too confident. Way too confident. I thought that starting a YouTube channel, going to an anonymous meeting, doing all these radical changes would just mean it was smooth sailing from here on out. And, folks, that's a dead wrong mentality, and that is 100% my fault. So I wanted to apologize. I'm just NOFAP warrior in the trenches like the rest of you. The other thing that I apologize for is I was looking at this completely backwards. If you watch Seth Alexander's video, Why NoFap is Actually Impossible, he's not advocating that it's actually impossible. At first I was a little upset that I thought he was, and that he was making people feel hopeless about this, because that's how I felt at the time. But after watching it, he gives an analogy of a pink elephant. And he said, if I told you, don't think about the pink elephant, do whatever you can to not think about the pink elephant, don't think about the pink elephant, stop thinking about the pink elephant, think as little of the pink elephant as possible. The more he says that, and the more you try not to think about the pink elephant, inevitably, the more you are forced to think about this pink elephant. And to put things into comparison, that pink elephant is NoFap or no PMO. And the fact of the matter is, we're pretty focused on learning as much as possible and thinking about it as little as possible. But those two things can't coexist. You can't see that word NoFap all over the place and also not think about it. Does that make sense? Because NoFap has the word FAP in it. So inevitably you are forced to think about this thing that you are trying to stay away from. And by thinking about it, it's perpetuating that thought and eventually that action. And obviously you can train your brain over a period of time to callous it and have these effects be much less strong. But the fact of the matter is that by seeing that all the time, those words are having power over us. And when you see NoFap or you see no PMO, my stinking video titles were no PMO hard mode. I'm doing two things there. I'm saying no PMO, which is making me think about PMO, and it is also making me associate all the negative things that happen on the back end. The depression, the stress, the anxiety, the feeling worthless, everything that comes in that packaged deal. And I know how bad it is, and I'm thinking about all those bad things. Does that make sense? So I see that PMO, even if no is before it, even if it says no PMO, I'm still seeing that my brain is linking the negative neural associations. Whereas if it was something like journey to mental freedom, or sexual sobriety, or anything like that, then my brain is thinking what the benefits are. It's thinking about the positive. It's thinking about the good things that also occur on the back end, except these are good things, these are not bad things. Does that make sense? So if you're reading the word sober, and you're reading the word freedom, and you're reading the word happy, and you're reading the word purpose in my life, your brain is linking the associations with those words and connecting your current emotional feelings towards those words with that once you read it. And I know this can sound pretty confusing and scientific, but the fact of the matter is, words have so much power over us, it's not even funny. And I knew that. And so I need to apologize right stinking now. And then maybe one thing you guys can learn from my fallback, setback here. Two things, actually. One is if you take 10 steps forward, say 10 days in a row, and then you fail one day, that is 10 steps forward and 1 step back, which is still 9 steps forward. And guys, we cannot be so hard on ourselves, because the second thing is one of the biggest mistakes after a relapse is people beat the actual heck out of themselves. Whether that's actually physically or mentally, they just shut down and they go into a state of depression, and they basically shut off all their connections, and they ignore everybody who they should be talking to, and it's a really, really downward spiral that gets really negative really fast. And the issue with that is you just went from a peak high state after acting out. You went from a peak high state to depression. You went from like a 100 to a negative 15, like that. And your brain, you think that PMO is the last thing that you want to be doing, but really your brain is like, holy smokes, we just had that 100 experience and now we're in the negatives. We need to get back to that 100 experience ASAP. And although that might be the last thing on your mind at the time, and you might say things like, this is the last time and I absolutely hate this, I'm never going to do that again, and that was stupid, your brain is already pre-planning when it can get that next dopamine fix. And what you guys need to do, this is going to sound weird, but this is also from Seth Alexander. I will put a video of his in the description, possibly his channel link as well, but honestly, just go check him out. Anyway, you go into the bathroom, or you go to a mirror of any kind, and you look in the mirror, and you smile, and you say, I'm a human, I make mistakes. I'm a human, I make mistakes. I am a human, I make mistakes. Until you are either neutral or positive, you keep repeating that. Because unless you short circuit that system, that cycle of up and down and up and down, there's a very good chance you're going to be stuck there. A very good chance you're going to be stuck there. And then finally, guys, coming back to my first point with the confidence, I'm going to be very transparent with you, very blunt. I'm not a huge political correct guy. I'm more of a facts guy. And with that being said, I have to give all the credit to the big man upstairs. And each morning, I ask for the courage and the strength to get through my day, but I also ask for the humility and the wisdom to know that 100% of both of those come from him, and without him, there's a 0% chance I'd be able to get over this. And that's the truth of the matter. So you can take that how you'd like, but from here on out, I want to make that very clear, as I am not some superstar, I'm not some absolute champ, some prodigy. I'm just fighting like the rest of you guys. So today was another day one. We're going to absolutely crush the last 4 hours here. I'm about to make a phone call to a mentor of mine. Check in, let him know. And thank you guys for checking in. If you have any words of wisdom, any comments, questions, things you're struggling with, please feel free to let me know in the comments or by email. Either is fine. And hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Go crush it 24 hours at a time. See ya.